The high school sports meet is brought to you by Alfred State College, where within 6 months of graduating, an astonishing 99% are working or furthering their studies. At Alfred State, they stress project-based learning, where students work on real-world problems and learn how to think, not what to think. Visit alfredstate.edu.
Sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello everyone and welcome to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. We begin our look at Section 5 sports this week with our opening story, brought to you by Sticky Lips Barbecue and Juke Joint. Sticky Lips Barbecue Juke Joint, New York State's largest barbecue restaurant right here in Rochester. See our menu and live music calendar at StickyLipsBBQ.com. Sticky Lips BBQ, Jefferson Road in Henrietta. We begin this week with a look back to 2015. Eliza DeMers of Harley School was a sophomore playing for the sport she loved. It just so happens she was the only girl on the boys' baseball team. Here's Bill Pucko.
When you think about Rochester athletes playing on the national stage, the names Abby Wambach, Thomas Bryant, David Ferentz, and Morgan Shield come to mind. You probably don't consider Eliza DeMers of the Harley School. Perhaps you should.
She was invited by the United States Baseball Association on the women's side to try out for the national team. And she's the youngest player involved in the tryouts, and very much a long shot to make it, but at the same time on the radar for years down the road.
I think most people would be surprised that there is such a team.
Yes, I would agree with you, and they take it very seriously. If you go on the website and check out some of the coaches and what they've done, I believe the gentleman is an ex-pro who's the coach, and his assistants have very good resumes as well, and it's serious stuff. I mean, they play probably eight different teams from around the world, and very, very good players.
DeMers is an infielder and a pitcher for the Harley-Allendale Columbia Wolves baseball team. A year ago, we told her story, manning the hot corner for the Harley-Allendale Columbia baseball team.
I've never tried softball, but it's baseball. I feel like it's more competitive. You get to lead off and steal, so I just find that fun.
But it isn't just that Eliza is a girl. She's a freshman playing on a varsity, albeit a small Class D program, and she's one of the better players out here. Pitches some, she won 2 games, and plays third base.
First couple games I had 6 errors at third base.
Oh,
it's hard, definitely.
But coach stuck with you, and that's important, huh?
Yeah. I didn't think he was going to keep putting me at third base, but he did.
Eliza is one of the top players on a team that won its first 3 games. She scored 6 runs and stole 4 bases over those 3, and pitched 4 innings, picking up a win over Edison. And she is just a sophomore. The whole issue, when we came here last year, is because, you were playing in the high school team. This is a little bit different. It's gone past that. How's it feel to have all that behind you?
It feels great. I mean, when I heard that I made the trials, I was super excited, so.
What are you doing? What do you have to do better, do you think?
Pitching, hitting. I mean, I always have to do everything better. I'm always working on stuff, so I don't think I'll ever be at a point where I can say I'm at my max, so I'm always going to work.
That's good. Is there one thing in particular this year that you said, by the end of the season, I'd like to be able to do this?
Pitch a full game, a complete game, and hopefully a win, so that'd be nice.
She gives us an arm that goes out and could throw 4, 5, 6 innings, probably each time out, with limited walks, and, we just got to make the plays behind her to be successful.
When you look into the future and you see this invitation and you kind of think about where the team might be in a couple years, where do you see yourself there?
Hopefully I make it as a pitcher or third baseman or outfield, but I don't know. Right now it looks like they might need some pitching, so I'm working on that.
Softball is not a consideration for DeMers, especially now that she has attracted national attention on the baseball diamond. She prefers playing on the bigger field, the bigger stage.
You know, she's been to different camps and invitations for Northeast and stuff like that. She got to play last year in a big all-star tournament out in California. And she's just kind of keeps raising her level. And the great thing is she's still Eliza. You know, she's just a nice, quiet young lady who is very competitive and gives her best every time she's out there.
Serving two masters, as it were, creates conflicts. The high school team gets the short end of that deal.
Well, our season, it happens at sectionals is the same weekend that I go to the trials, so I'll be missing sectionals for the trials.
Does Peter know this?
Yeah, he does. I don't think he was too happy, but what can you do?
Good job. All right, let's get him, boys.
Eliza is currently a junior at Penn, where she plays on the softball team. Coming up next, Jason Bunting joins us for the Dunkin High School Notebook. We've got that and more when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, returns.
Treat yourself to Dunkin's new Blueberry Crisp, Coca Mocha, and Caramel Craze signature lattes. America runs on Dunkin.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. It is time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin. America runs on Dunkin. We are joined this week and pleased to be joined by Jason Bunting, not only the head baseball coach at Athena High School, but also the Section 5 coordinator. Jason, great to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Jason, talk a little bit about the season in Section 5 baseball, how it went, some of the outstanding performances, and some of the things that really stood out for you as someone who gets to see it all kind of from the overhead view.
Yeah, well, the first thing was the weather, right? I mean, April started out okay. We had a really tough May, but overall, I think the kids battled through it. I think the adults have a little bit more of a hard time with the weather than sometimes the kids do. But there were some great performances in all of the classes, A, AA, all the way down to D. And the kids really performed well, and now we're at the most important time of the year too, so it's good to see.
And that most important time of the year, of course, talking playoffs. How much of a headache, I mean, knowing from a coaching perspective what it's like, you get so much time off, so much, all of a sudden you're jamming these games on. It wreaks havoc on your lineup, and you've got to get in a flow, and it's got to be tough to get one going.
Right, and especially during Memorial Day weekend, the way the calendar fell this year, you know, the sectional started on Memorial Day weekend, and of course we had all that rain on Saturday, so now schools are closed and you're trying to get games on Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, and it just becomes more of a headache for a lot of schools. And you know, the committee, the Section 5 baseball committee, has really done a nice job of trying to make sure that all these games get played and stay organized and give the kids the best opportunity to play, because they've been working hard all season, like you said, and now it's the most important time of the year. And you know, sometimes battling Mother Nature is not easy, but I think we're doing a good job so far, and hopefully in the future couple days we can dry out and get some ball games in.
Talk about the state of baseball in our area. I mean, Paul is on here all the time talking about how incredible it is that we have so many players going to colleges, going D1, and really making a name for the area. Talk about how special it is to be part of that baseball community here in the Rochester area.
Yeah, it's a tribute to these kids, how hard they work. You know, there was a nice article the other day about, you know, the 2 sophomores in the area that are already committed to Division I programs, and those kids work their tails off. But not just those 2. There's a lot of kids around here that work really hard at the craft. You know, we're obviously up here in the north, but there's a lot of kids that are involved in the travel programs, and they hit all year round, and they hungry for baseball and hungry for knowledge. And it's cool to see, some kids really getting a chance to play at the college level. And I feel like it's giving the more kids that go, the more kids have opportunity also. Some kids that maybe wouldn't have had a shot. I think that there are some scouts and some colleges that are looking at this area and saying, hey, there's some good baseball up there.
All right, fantastic. Jason, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
A lot of work, but it's paying off, I hope.
Yeah,
All right.
Thanks.
We are back with more of the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, right after this. Coming up next, the Making the Grade nominee with Kyle O'Gara, and later, Emily Phelan takes the hill for Bishop Kearney. We'll have her story when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
Welcome back, and thank you for watching the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. Hit the ground running at alfredstate.edu. I'm Kyle O'Gara. Making the grade this week is Rush Henrietta senior Monica Gregg. Monica runs track and plays basketball for the Royal Comets and has been on both teams for 3 years. For track, Monica has racked up a sectional championship and multiple all-county picks. In the classroom, Monica maintains a 96 GPA and has made high honor roll since 9th grade. Because of her success in the classroom, Monica is also part of the National Honor Society and has won several academic awards. Monica is also a decorated award-winning artist, even having her artwork shown in a district-wide art show. When she's not winning awards, Monica volunteers her time to help the less fortunate and has even gone on a missions trip to Alabama. After high school, Monica is committed to run on a scholarship at St. Francis University in Pennsylvania. This week, Monica Gregg is making the grade. If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into info@classywolf.com. And now here's Dave with the McArdle Section 5 Spotlight.
Thanks, Kyle. Here are some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in this week's Section 5 Spotlight, brought to you by McArdle's in Fairport. Come home to McArdle's. Sectional champs were crowned in track and field last weekend, with Rush Henrietta sweeping the boys and girls in Class AA for the second straight year. In Class A, the boys of McQuaid were victors, while Brighton claimed the girls' crown. In Class B, HFL won both boys and girls, while Class C saw Harley-Allendale Columbia win the girls' title, with Oakfield Elba winning the boys' side. And RH grad Linnea Tava-Thomas has qualified for the NCAA championships in 2 events, the 200-meter dash and as part of a 4x400 relay team. Well, coming up next, it's Athena versus Bishop Kearney softball in sectional action. We'll have the highlights when High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
And now to Eichel. He floated one.
Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. This segment is brought to you by the Injury-Free Coalition and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli. Please remember to always wear your seatbelt in the front and back seats, and to focus only on driving when behind the wheel of a car. This message courtesy of the Injury-Free Coalition for Kids Smart Teen Driving Program and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli. Junior Emily Phelan has been rising on the strikeout list in New York State, seemingly passing a name on the list with each game. She moved into 4th all-time in Bishop Kearney's first-round game versus Athena.
Round 2 of the Class A1 sectionals featured a game between 7th-ranked Greece Athena and Bishop Kearney, the 2nd seed. The Kings are led by junior Emily Phelan, who entered the game 5th all-time in strikeouts in New York State. For an Athena team that went 6-13, this posed a big challenge. Beating Phelan would take a specialized attack.
The game plan was to bunt and not beat ourselves, and to have fun and go out and do what we do best.
The first inning would tell the story of this game. Emily Phelan sets the side down in order, continuing a hitless streak from her last start of the season. which was a perfect game versus East.
Go ahead, come on.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
You know, we knew coming in that Athena was going to be tough. Our game plan was right from the start, jump out early. You know, send a message right away. You know, this is what we wait for. This is what we trained so hard for. Send a message right away, and we did.
The Kings got off to the hot start they were looking for, as Mac Emery and Phelan got back-to-back hits. Lauren Bernard would drive in Emery, and sophomore Marissa Gianovola knocked in 2 more. Phelan would help her own cause and cap the scoring with a 2-run single. After 1, the Kings led 7-0. The rest was up to Phelan and the BK defense.
No, not really. I'm glad that my team had my back and gave me a nice cushion to go out there on. It was actually better to go out there like that because it alleviates a little bit of the stress when you know you have a 7-run cushion. It's pretty nice.
Well, we have to keep working because you never know if in the sectional time. You just don't know. You don't know if you're going to be playing the next day until the final out in the 7th inning. We kept reminding them of that, and that's what we've got to tighten up on. We jumped out 7 runs, and then we kind of quieted down a little bit. We left a lot of girls on base, and we're going to work on that this weekend to be sure of that.
Phelan set down the first 8 Trojans in a row before senior Katie Holzmacher stepped up to the plate.
She does play with a lot of fire. She's the heart and soul of our team. She calls all the pitches. She is the biggest cheerleader, and we're really going to miss her next year.
From this point on, the game was a battle of minor triumphs for Athena. They were not going to be no hit, and now they wanted to avoid the shutout. Athena threatened again in the 4th, putting runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. But Phelan preserved the shutout with one of her 12 strikeouts in the game, and her 1,382nd of her career, moving her into sole possession of 4th place all-time in the state.
It's a pretty awesome feeling. I don't try to think about it while it's going on, but after the game it's pretty cool to realize that I'm starting to move up in the state ranks, which is pretty cool. I'm really excited about it.
She works hard, and I know it's so cliche to say that, but she truly does. We have an off-season strength program that she goes through, and it's really something to watch. There's no glove, there's no cleats, there's no nothing, there's no fans. It's in a dark basement. We train hard, and it shows. So, and she's earned every pitch she's thrown.
9th grader Skylar Zabata took over on the mound for Athena in the 4th and worked 3 scoreless innings. And again, Holzmacher would start a rally on offense. Senior Emily Tudor's grounder is mishandled in the 5th, putting Athena on the board.
I felt like we played really well. Facing a pitcher with her kind of firepower and her record. Again, we went in with a little bit of a game plan, and we stuck to our game plan, and I thought we did pretty well. We made a couple errors, but we bounced back, and after we got settled down, our game plan worked, and they didn't score too many after that. So we set some personal goals, and we met all those personal goals. So for us, it was definitely a win.
Phelan finished the game by striking out the side and sending the Kings on to the next round. A complete game, 4-hitter, with no earned runs and 12 strikeouts.
It was an interesting start. I mean, our offense started off big, which was awesome, and I mean, I didn't start off my best, but I'm glad we got back into it as a team, and I think we just played a really solid game. I think we can make a really solid run as long as our offense stays on and we limit the mistakes. I think we'll do pretty good. We have some tough teams in our bracket, so it's going to be a tough run. It won't be an easy one, but I think if we keep doing what we're doing and play our game, we'll do well.
From Bishop Kearney, this is Joe Broad for the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially Alfred State College, for making the Sports Beat possible. We'd also like to thank the athletes, teams, and coaches in Section 5. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.